Following tech news this week, you might have thought it was, well, a little quiet. No big, flashy product launches, right? But the real story, the one that actually matters for our future, was happening under the surface. We're talking about the foundational work that's actually building our digital world. So let's dig into the real architecture of tomorrow.
And this quote really just nails it. Some of the most significant shifts in technology happen behind the scenes. And this past week was a perfect example. It was all about stronger infrastructure, smarter AI, and more secure systems. This is the long-term planning, the really crucial stuff that makes all the future innovation possible.
So what is the real story here? Well, it's about deliberate, careful execution. It's not just about experimentation anymore. We're going to explore the foundational work that's happening right now in data centers, in AI, and in autonomous vehicles. This is the actual blueprint for what's coming next.
All right, first up, the new digital foundation. Let's start with the absolute bedrock of our digital world, the infrastructure. Any real lasting progress, it always starts here, with the physical and digital systems that support everything else. And let me tell you, right now, that foundation is getting a massive upgrade.
The way we think about data centers has totally flipped on its head. I mean, they're not just some generic server rooms in a basement anymore. No way. They are now incredibly high-tech, purpose-built facilities. Honestly, you should think of them as strategic national assets because they're essential for everything from AI development to national security. And this is happening everywhere. It's a global phenomenon. We're seeing massive investment pouring into new data centers that are specifically designed for the intense power and advanced cooling needs of modern AI. And this isn't just about storage anymore. It's about creating local hubs for faster access, better reliability, and for what's called data sovereignty, basically national control over data.
And get this, while most of us are still just getting used to 5G, the groundwork for 6G is already being laid. Seriously, researchers right now are designing the network architecture that will power the automated smart cities and industries of the next decade. That foundation is being built today.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about AI. Because for so long, AI has been surrounded by so much hype. But we're now seeing a very clear trend of AI finally maturing from just a buzzword into a practical, indispensable tool for actual businesses.
It seems like companies have learned a really valuable lesson. Instead of just rushing out to deploy the latest AI tool, the smart move is to prepare first. That means cleaning up your data, defining clear business goals, and making sure all your systems can integrate smoothly. It's a much more grounded and, frankly, a much more successful approach.
And this leads to the next big evolution, because AI is no longer just living in our software. It's becoming a physical presence. It's moving into our warehouses, our factories, and our logistics centers, and it's fundamentally changing how real-world work gets done.
What we're talking about here are things like robots handling repetitive sorting, autonomous vehicles moving goods around inside a factory, and systems that can optimize an entire workflow. But here's the crucial part. These systems are designed to be collaborators. They're built to work with human teams to make them more efficient, not to just replace them. Now, with all of this new technology comes a really critical need for trust and for reliability. So, for our next section, let's focus on how we're building smarter and, more importantly, safer systems right from the ground up. A perfect example is autonomous vehicles. The whole conversation around them has completely shifted. They're no longer just seen as some cool, futuristic science experiment. Now they're being integrated into serious, long-term urban and transport planning. The strategy isn't about some sudden, disruptive takeover. Instead, companies like Waymo are expanding methodically, city by city. They're collecting massive amounts of safety data, they're working with local governments, and they're focusing on earning public trust. It's a slow but steady path to adoption. And this cautious approach extends to cybersecurity too. The old model of just adding security features on as an afterthought, well, that's gone. Today, the assumption is that systems are under constant risk, so security has to be built into the very core of every platform from the very start. It makes trust a non-negotiable foundation.
Ultimately, though, none of this technology means anything without people. People who can build it, manage it, and use it effectively. And that brings us to our final theme, the absolutely essential human factor in all of this progress.
There's a growing demand for a completely new kind of education. It's less about abstract theory and way more about hands-on, practical skills. The goal is to empower today's workforce with the ability to use AI tools, to understand data, and to master digital workflows right now,
in their current jobs.
This quote really just sums it all up, doesn't it? The era of just playing around with new tech is giving way to a period of focused execution. It's about building robust, reliable systems that solve real problems at scale.
And that is the key takeaway here. The most important work isn't always what gets the most attention. The future is being carefully architected on these strong foundations, in data centers, in logistics hubs, and in classrooms, far, far away from the media spotlight. So, I'll leave you with this to think about. As we build these critical foundations in infrastructure, AI, and security, what other foundational pieces might we be overlooking that will become absolutely critical in the years to come? Thanks for tuning in. So, if you were